plan, and it's based on certain assumptions. So those assumptions have to be front and center in any
Yes.
plan that you do. As here's what we expect, and because of what we expect, here's what we plan to do. We can change the assumptions as we move forward because
Not outside the room.
nobody has a crystal ball. But you know, to
Oh,
not
you want to take a good
strategic
long
plan
one?
because there's a pandemic
Okay,
here is a mistake.
One walker here.
I'm not-
Right, so, you know, a question we have to ask ourselves for this strategic plan, as Jack is pointing out, is, you know, in 2025, do you think that pickleball will continue to grow in interest and be even more popular than it is today? And we will have a new reality of handling, or have already gotten past dealing with COVID. And, you know, you can envision that in 2025, we might have a need for an additional pickleball court. If the answer to that is yes, then we want to set some timeframes for what, like, as Jack has pointed out, what are some of the initial steps to get us moving in that direction? Who just had their hand up? Because my screen changed. Go ahead, Paul.
I think that's a good point. I think we have to look at this as a strategic plan, and the community has suggested that amenity augmentation is important to them. So I think we need to address it, and perhaps the way Jack is suggesting, that we look at it down the road strategically and not dismiss it, not throw it out, but keep it kind of on the back burner until we can sort out the financial implications of the pandemic.
Right.
All right, even the first step, as Jack has pointed out, doing some modeling to look at what would be the cost of an additional bocce court, or starting the investigation of where we could add another pickleball court. That stuff, that the time frame for even something like that first step could be, you know, a year from now when we would gather that information. There's no urgency to gather that. We just want to set, these are the steps, and then we can set a very long-term time frame for that. So do some initial investigation for pickleball and bocce. Does that sound like something that needs to go forward in terms of gathering information?
I think it's a piece on the puzzle, okay? If you look at East Naples, it used to be a tennis facility. Now there's 54 pickleball courts there. So, you know, the fact that pickleball may grow is a reality, but you know, but it's not next year.
Mark, you're on mute before you talk.
I think we muted Mark.
I have to remember that because John Mehawk's on the other phone trying to get in, and Cezanne's trying to help him, so we're all over the place. Anyways, and I had to get the YouTube when it was streaming, actually was streaming our last session on May 14th. So I had to redo all of that. Anyhow, a lot of initial work has gone into the bocce and pickleball.
Yeah.
I guess if you want to call it exploration, from not only the SDP, that is, here's John. John's getting in. The SDPI from the county standpoint that is approving the use of those areas for the installation of those particular amenities, and that's probably the initial first step to find out whether or not they can go there. We expect that to be approved here probably by the 26th of this month. If that happens, we've already contacted 2 or 3 companies for pricing on installation of the courts, not only from a pickleball standpoint, but from a bocce standpoint.
Can you guys
We do have some ideas about costs. Whether or not those costs are going to change over the next few years is another thing, but at least it gives us a base model to look at. We also have an understanding of what actually could have to take place out there in order to accomplish those tasks. So some of the groundwork at least has been laid.
Very good.
want to try talking and see if they can hear you?
Can anybody
I can hear you,
hear
John.
me
I
out
just can't see you.
Yeah, John, we can hear you.
Okay.
You sound very good too, John.
All right, John, you should have something about going on there.
I'll hang up with you, but on the bottom of your screen, there might be a little camera that has a flash through it. And if you just click start video.
Yeah, so I asked him to start his video.
All right.
Are you seeing us, John?
Yeah, I'm seeing you guys.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, you just need to turn.
Did you hit
just need to
share
turn your
screen?
Video on somehow, John. That's all.
John, hit your share screen.
If I knew where that was, I would.
Down at the bottom. Move your cursor down to the
Be
bottom.
Yeah,
down at the
sometimes it won't
bottom.
show up until you get near
Yeah, a little green thing on mine.
So it's not the screen, it's the share your document.
it. All right, let's summarize what Mark had just said. So what was the organization, the acronym you use, SPD?
No, the county,
Perfect.
Oh,
Hey, John.
county,
okay.
the county has to
Alrighty.
approve the
Thank you.
I'm gonna
land
hang up the phone.
uses
Welcome.
of the area. In other words, the county has to sit there and say, you want to put something in there? Well, we're gonna have to take a look at the zoning and the parking, the landscaping, the setbacks. How does it impact the groundwater, and all that has to go through the county, and that has all been done. And from what we understand, that's going to be all approved probably by the end of this month. That includes the shade structure at the pool. So, this is, so all of that amenity, I guess, for any further use of the amenities that we have existing area to do so, the county has got that approved for us.
And that,
So-
that is in effect ad infinitum. Is that correct?
As far as I know, because it's not permit, it's just a use. It has us down there. So if we want to use it 3 to 5 years now, they put in a permit. The county sees that the planning has already been done and that the land use is available.
And so the outcome of this is that there is space for an additional pickleball.
Right.
Good. So then the next step would be starting looking at, you said you already are in contact with some contractors to give you some bids as to what would be some of the costs involved with installation.
Yeah, we already have a working estimate, I'd say, Mark, plus or minus 25% of what it'd cost to put in a new pickleball court and a new bocce court. We've got that.
Okay.
I think